Council, and we serve on a voluntary basis without compensation. Our procedure for conducting business is this. The petitioner for each item will be asked to come forward, state your name for the record, and present his or her request. The board will ask any questions that they may have. Then anyone speaking to the proposal will be asked to come forward and voice their opinion. If there are opposing opinions, each side will have 10 minutes to speak. Once your request is heard and the board's decision is rendered, you may leave the meeting. However, if you have questions for staff, please wait until after the meeting is over to ask them, or you may contact them at the office the following day. Once board testimony and discussion for a particular item has concluded, the members of the board will deliberate and render a decision. Members with a personal or financial interest in any request are required to recuse themselves from voting. All decisions by the Architecture Review Board are final. Any aggrieved parties may appeal the decision of the board to the City Council within 15 days. Petitioners may also appeal the board's decision to the Circuit Court within 30 days of the meeting. We have all but one member present today, so 8. It takes 5 votes to pass a motion. Because of the number of board members present, if you would like to delay your request, please let us know at the time your request is announced. I'd like to take this opportunity to introduce the members of the Architecture Review Board. Cedric Campbell. Cedric, you were early today. You come from a long way. I will say that. Barrett Penny, Jeremy Kelly, John Hayden, John Foshee, David Payne, conspicuous by his absence today, Katie Williams, and Kalia Bell. And my name is Elizabeth Brown. The land use staff are Christy Anderson, Ethan Fowler, and James Center. Am I missing any? Did I miss anybody? Okay. Christy had something to talk to us about the training, historic preservation training.
I wanted to do this while we had a live audience. The Historic Preservation Commission is going to be putting on a 6-week preservation leadership seminar this spring. If any of y'all are interested in coming, we're going to do it as board training. Unless you want the full swag bag, you can just sign up without paying the $25 registration fee. You just won't get all the swag. The notebook is essentially what y'all got as your board notebook with a couple of additions to it. So I just need to be able to keep track of how much material I need to provide. So if anyone is interested in that, or if any of y'all are interested in that, I've got some forms here, and there are actually some out front. So I just need to know by March 15th.
All right. The first item on the agenda is Kimbrough renovations in Old Cloverdale, 2425 East Cloverdale Park.
Good evening. I'm Chris Kimbrough. What we want to do here is add a portion of 6-foot-tall cypress shadow box fencing to both sides of the residence to completely enclose the backyard for their dogs. There's already the cypress shadow box all the way across the back portion and partial side lot there. We'll also do 2 iron gates behind the driveway.
They open like this?
Yes, double swinging.
Okay.
Yes.
And there's a site plan in here that tells me this?
Yes. That photo represents the existing fence that's there that will match.
Okay. It's just that tiny, where is it going to,
Yes,
Okay.
you're on the right photo now.
All right, I'm seeing it now.
Okay.
Okay. Yep,
Right.
all right. Any other questions or comments from the board? Are there any comments from the audience?
Darby Forrester representing the Old Cloverdale Association, and we are fine with it.
All right.
I do have a question. On the non-driveway side, it's going to be right up in the front corner of the house, is that correct?
On the what side now?
The non-driveway side, so
Yes, it's going from the corner of the front porch to the property line on the south side.
So in the plane with the house?
Yes,
Okay.
yes,
And they don't want a gate or anything on that side?
not on that side.
Okay,
The terrain is pretty hilly over there, it wouldn't be of any benefit.
okay. Is the existing fence 6 feet? Is the existing fence 6 feet, like this one?
Yes, around the back and the side, yes.
Okay.
If there are no other comments from the board, I'll entertain a motion.
Madam Chair, I move that we approve as submitted.
All in favor? Go and build your
Thank you.
fence. All right, number 2, Judy Frazier, Old Cloverdale, 628 Thorn Place.
Good evening.
Good evening.
We live in Old Cloverdale in a 120-year-old home. It was my husband's grandmother's home, and there's a big pecan tree that sits about 10 feet from the back of our house. That's the front of the house. You can see the... But we landscaped our yard. There it is right there. In 2016, and the tree is in basically the wrong spot for the patio area. I want you to see the good part. That's the good part right there. If the gray gravel is the patio area, and we live in fear of the limbs falling on the patio area. If the wind blows more than 5 miles an hour, we don't sit out there. The tree has wires that have been up there for about 60 years holding limbs. We've had to cut some sizable limbs off because they were breaking or because they were too close to the house. Besides the danger of the limbs falling and the position of the tree, the pecans that it drops, none of them are edible, but it drops millions of pecans in the backyard and all over the patio and all over the grass. I had Russell Stringer come out there and look at it. He totally understood what I was talking about. He said I would have to get approval from y'all to have the tree removed. So here I am.
Well, it's fair to say it's at the end of its life.
Yes, I think it is, but you know those steel cables that are holding it up, some of them are loose, and when one of those pops, we're going to be in trouble.
I was going to say I'm not quick to approve to remove a tree, but I'm not quick to approve to remove a tree, but when you have, I've got pecan trees in my yard, ma'am, and I know if you've got to put cables in them
Yeah.
to keep the limbs from falling, I can see this is a very mature tree. At some
Those-
point, those limbs are going to come crashing
Yeah,
down.
those cables are very old, and it's a dangerous situation and an unsightly situation, so I request to be able to have it removed.
Well, what provisions have you made for feeding the squirrels when the pecan tree is gone?
If I could get rid of the squirrels, I would be totally honest up here, even if it were illegal. We have planted 26 trees in the backyard, and the squirrels have stripped the bark of 5 of the autumn blaze maple, and the tops have died out of them, and I'm not happy with the squirrels at all.
I have a pear tree in my backyard which puts out prolific pears every year, and the squirrels eat one bite out of every pear.
That's what they
Well, wait until they eat the bark, and then the tree will die, and you won't have to worry about that.
All right. Is there anyone from the neighborhood to talk about this project?
I wish they could turn that picture sideways so you can see how pretty the yard is now.
We have pictures in front of us. We have pictures in front of us.
Okay.
Darby Forrester, representing the Old Cloverdale Association. We have no objection to removing the tree, and we are also against squirrels.
All right. Any more comments from the board?
Madam Chair, if I'm reading the comments from staff correctly, Urban Forestry doesn't have a problem. The previous landscape renovations were more than enough to, I guess, count for removal of this tree.
Yeah, we usually ask people to plant trees. She's just already planted the trees.
We planted 26
Yep.
trees.
So with that being said, I'm ready to make a motion.
All right.
Move to approve.
Second.
All in favor?
Oh, thank you. Thank you.
Go and make the tree man wealthy. Project number 3, Jim and Kathy Fisher, Capitol Parkway, Capitol Heights, South Capitol Parkway.
I have just sent them a text to see if they're coming, since they're my neighbors.
Well, we'll just
We'll
move
move
them to the end of the agenda.
Okay.
Number 4, Lisa Taylor, Cloverdale Idlewild. Hello.
Fantastic.
My guess is that you're not Lisa Taylor.
I'm not Lisa. I'm standing in for Lisa. She couldn't make it today.
Okay.
What it is they built a storage house. They put a barn door on it, and I think the committee kind of frowned upon the barn door. So what we're going to do, we're going to put a double 6-panel door, insulated door, on the front. And the original plans had a window, and we're going to delete the window because it's a storage.
Okay.
So we're going to delete the window, and on the back side, we're going to pretty much put an air conditioner or something like in the back side of it. But if you could look at it, you can see where he put that big barn door thing right there. So we're going to take that out, and we're going to put a double 6-panel door, and the entire building is going to be painted the entire color of going to be painted the same color as the house is painted.
Okay.
So it can be,
Sir, could we get your name?
Michael Morrell.
Michael?
Yes.
All right. Is there anyone from the audience to speak to this project? The Colvins are not here today? Oh, we have someone?
Mr. Burris will take lead, I guess.
Good evening. I'm Artie Burris, representing Cloverdale Idlewild Association this evening. With these changes, we have no objections. We just like to see it finished, please.
All right.
We'll have it finished in a week or so.
Any further comments from the board? May I have a motion then?
Move to approve the modifications as submitted.
Second.
All in favor? All right. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Number 5, Robert Price, Old Cloverdale, 740 Felder Avenue. It looks like you've moved in.
We have moved in, yes ma'am. So we've been there for about a month and a half now. So forgive me, I'm losing my voice today. This happened, so, but yeah, we moved in, so we're excited to be there.
Good.
So, but my husband did this proposal to, instead of in the same footprint of what's already been approved for the drive, instead of using brown shot, he wants to, he would like to put concrete in with the brick that matches the skirt around the house as the edging. And then in that same footprint that you guys had previously approved. And with that, I believe he's also proposed a shed at the back of the property that's 12 by 16 that would match the house as far as the siding, the color, shingles on the roof, type of windows, everything. So,
Is this his architectural rendering?
that is, and it will look better than that. So I saw it and I was like, we can make it a little bit prettier than it appears on paper. So
If you don't, we'll hear about it, I'm sure.
yeah.
Is the concrete material to be used everywhere in the front and on the side?
Yes, we would like to. We'd like it to extend it to the back, especially with the parking pad. And at first, we had considered leaving that brown shot until our children, they really want a place to play basketball.
Yeah.
So, yeah, so we would like to have that just so that they have a place to get out and play basketball.
And we've had a really wet winter, and they discovered they weren't real crazy about the
Having to go out there and smooth it out all the time.
Yeah, it's not been bad, but we have an opportunity too where we're expanding another property that we have, and so we were kind of able to do all of this at one time and save a little bit of money. So that was kind of a nice thing if we could make it happen.
Shed going to be all the way in the back. Can't really. Looks like you're not going to be able to really see it from the road.
My understanding where he wants to put it, I think he's got it more to the right and not to the left of the property.
Yes.
So you would not see that from the road, because on that side, we're gonna have a fence, that y'all had previously approved too, so you should not be able to see anything. I guess you might be able to see a little bit of the roof, possibly, but the way the property angles to the back, I don't think you would be able to.
You may want to verify your setbacks with that too, because you don't want to go over your setbacks.
I think on that side of the property, we have a 5-foot setback, so we should be fine, so.
There's a height shown on the sketch of the shed to the east. I can't really read it. What's that height? Do you know?
I don't know what the height is.
I think it's 9.
9 feet.
9?
Mhm.
Okay.
It looks like 9 feet to the plate.
Yeah, that's
Are there any more comments from the board? Any comments from the audience? Darby, we're giving you a workout tonight.
Darby Forrester, representing the Old Cloverdale Association. We discussed this in our monthly meeting, and we don't have any objections to it. I thought they should have put in concrete to begin with, but nobody listened to me. And with everything else they've done with the house, they've done a great job with it, so I'm sure the shed will be just as nice, so.
Yeah, sure. It is beautiful. There are no more further comments from the board. I'll entertain a motion.
Move to approve.
Second.
All in favor?
Thank you all very
you.
much.
Number 6, Christopher and Ivy Eccles, Cloverdale, Idlewild, 3184 Lexington Road.
Hello again.
Hello.
This time we're coming before you to add an addition to the rear of our property for my lovely in-laws. They're sitting in the back. Just a bedroom addition.
Are you going to try and match the brick
Yes, try to match the brick and windows and
mortar?
shingles and everything.
Match the windows in the addition, same type windows that are currently in the home. Okay.
Which I believe, when it was redone years ago, they're like vinyl windows with some kind of aluminum cladding on it.
Well, I understand we don't usually approve that, but those were put in in your house
Right.
years ago before you came in, and to be consistent, it would just
Right.
make sense to use the same thing in any addition you put on the house, obviously. There is a question, I think, about some delineation, having some sort of delineation between the addition and the original structure, so that if you in the future want to sell the house, someone could come and they could see that, this is the original, this is the addition.
And I don't know how that's achieved easily with brick. My
Usually-
my architect board members
Usually
The only way you could really do it is to use a different kind of brick, and I know
Well,
you.
you usually set the brick back one brick width, like make the addition, make the elevation change in its, the width.
Right.
And that keeps things like slight differences in the mortar and the brick color
Right.
from really showing up, because you've got a little shadow line there that
Yeah.
keeps them from.
Unlike what I currently have.
Any other comments from the board? Comments from the audience?
Arnie Burris, Cloverdale Idlewild Association. We have no objection to adding more lovely neighbors to our neighborhood by way of the proposal found with the Eccles. Thank you.
Any further questions from the board? Someone ready to craft a motion?
I move to approve as submitted with the I'm sorry, I do think there needs to be some kind of delineation,
Right.
not necessarily anything overt, but just so someone,
Yeah, we had thought about just making it, like you said, one brick width difference between.
okay. Well, Mr. Foshi has pointed out, you've already got two different kinds of brick
Yeah.
already.
You do.
Well, so the plan is we're gonna take that brick out when we add the addition. There's gonna have to be a lot of work done anyway to make it.
Okay, so you're not gonna have this,
Right, the old brick on that side
Yeah.
addition is coming out anyway, because they're gonna have
Okay.
to rebuild a lot of that.
okay,
So,
That's where the new additions come in.
yes,
yes.
all right. Christy, do you need to see a sample of the window, just in case he can't find something that doesn't exactly match what's there?
I would be surprised if he can't find what's
Okay.
Yeah, 'cause I
there,
think the
because
windows
it
that are
really
in
is
there.
just it was a replacement window with the grid between the glass. I'm
Okay.
sure, I'm not gonna say anything.
Yeah, it came from Southern Sash, so.
All right,
Well, kind of got halfway through it now.
all right, yeah, start again.
I have no problem with the addition. I don't. I'm just trying to get in my mind a way to, just so, again, in the future, someone could tell, this was built in 2019 as
Right.
opposed to
Right.
whenever the original home
Right.
was built. Can you think of anything, or can work?
Well, I don't know how, if they've got to do repair to the veneer on that side. Well, I guess no. I mean, it would still be, you could approve as submitted as long as there's a delineation at the addition point, and I don't know, it could be, you could specify it's a.
Do we need to specify how it's delineated, or leave that up to the property owner?
Well, I don't want them to go out there and paint a white stripe
Well,
on
that-
it and say, well, here's
Here it
where
is.
the
I
old building
understand.
ends. And I don't think he would do that.
I
but
know he would.
think that that's in the realm of possibilities of what
I
someone
mean, that's
might
right down
come
the
up
street
with.
from my house, and I know you have put a lot of time and effort, and you're doing things right. This is not the first time you've been before us.
May I suggest?
Yes, Mr. Architect, you
A
can.
control joint or some kind of vertical
That's a good idea.
separation joint.
Just,
That's fine.
okay. I
Front
move to
style.
approve as submitted, provided that the applicant puts a control joint or something very small and discreet delineating between the original home and the addition.
Right.
Okay.
Good motion. I'll second that motion.
Good call, John.
My lawyer brain kicked in finally.
Thank you. Thanks to all of you. All right, all in favor?
All right.
I would say that it could be that just your program did not draw the foundation vents in, but there don't appear to be any foundation vents in your new construction. There need to be, so just get somebody to check
Right.
how many you need.
Yeah,
Okay.
right.
Or you'll be sorry in about 3 years.
Absolutely, absolutely. Thank you.
That
All
mold
right.
will find
Thank
you.
you.
Well, good.
And it's not. Patrick Skelton, Old Cloverdale, 1300 Magnolia Curve.
Good evening.
Hello.
We are, that's us, except the wrong side of the house. We are proposing to put a 6-foot fence around the rear yard of the house to create an actual backyard that will enclose the guest home there, and put an actual parking pad as opposed to the runners that you can see are wasting away. We also would like an area for the boy there to play basketball. And any ideas on getting rid of squirrels at my house would be appreciated as well.
What is it with you people and squirrels? I like squirrels.
We tend to
they're
get them in
delicious.
the walls and in the attic. And
I've-
last Christmas, it was a full-on Christmas vacation moment with the Christmas tree.
Had to sit on my front porch with a broom handle and knock it, and I found when you have to find the hole where they're getting and go block it. Done it myself.
That's a picture of of an ornamental gate similar to what we want. That's actually across the street there, my neighbors, and you can see their fence encroaches to about 4.5 to 5 feet of the right-of-way there, which is it's an issue that I'm going to have to continue to get approval for, because I'd like to go 7 feet from the curb, but as you can see there, that blue line represents the right-of-way. And then if we stop there, that really
Could you scroll back up, Mike?
really limits the backyard
Good.
area
Thank
to
you.
basically a postage stamp. So if we could take it out, you see where the little side gate would be there on the side porch. If we could take it to 7 feet from the curb, we could actually maximize the space we have there.
I'm a little confused about where exactly you want to put the fence on that corner, because here one thing is drawn in another drawing, which of course now I can't find. Yeah, there's another drawing that has looks like the fence is rectilinear.
The
looks like you're-
process he has to go through is in order to put a fence on the right-of-way, he has to go through city council to get permission to encroach on the right-of-way.
Right.
So the second drawing is on the property line, and the survey shows the edge of that porch being on the property line.
Okay.
That's Plan B. If
Okay.
city council says, thou shalt not have your fence in the right-of-way, then he'll have to go to the Board of Adjustment to get a variance for not meeting the street side setback on that side of the property, if he has to put it on the property line.
Okay.
So that's why you have two different ones. This is what he would prefer to do if he can get permission to encroach in the right-of-way.
That was my understanding. You're kind of proposing two things. The first proposal is what you want to do, and the second proposal is what you will do if you can't do what you want to do.
Exactly, right. I actually stood before this board 8 to 10 years ago.
10 years ago.
And had this same thing approved. However, we got busy and we didn't get around to it. But no, in all seriousness, we had to put it off for several different reasons, but we're finally back to it. We have had approval by a couple of the offices so far, Mac McLeod and I think Patrick Dunson, but we still await approval from the utilities and everything else that's going to come along with that. So, yes, so Plan A and Plan B.
Okay.
Yep.
And that's really to prevent him from having to come back.
Right. I mean, if you can't get one done, if you
Right.
can't get proposal one or the preferred plan, you can go straight to Plan B and
Right.
not
Yes.
have to come see us again. Maybe wait another 10 years before you come.
Do you plan any landscaping on between the fence and the curb?
Nothing more than maybe some, pine straw or something like that, but nothing major. We would, add beds on the inside of the fence, but
There are a
nothing
couple
more
of
than.
fairly new street trees there, and he
Okay.
would have to get permission from Russell to install any more plant material
Okay.
in the right-of-way.
Thank
Right,
you.
yeah. We had, the city on the right of way down the front yard. How many trees are out there? Maybe
I've noticed that.
6 right in a row
Yeah.
up through the front yard. And they look great in the spring and summer, but, the fence would be on the backside of the only one that's in the backyard area.
Any further questions from the board? And from the neighborhood?
For my last appearance tonight, Darby Forrester with the Old Cloverville Association, we discussed this in our meeting. Their fence and their gate is really gonna be right across the street from for the house that faces Agnew, so it's not like facing a house. They have a long front yard, no backyard, so we have no objection. We think it'll be, nice and provide them with some sort of a backyard for the budding NBA player.
It does seem like a lot of lots. I mean, it's very long, very nice. It's just kind of narrow.
Yeah, the thing
Which
really
happened?
about the front yard is we utilize the front yard, the boy, we throw the baseball and frisbee. However, being on the corner there, I don't really trust him being out there by himself.
Oh, sure.
It's just a very busy area right there. So the backyard will let him go outside with the dog and play without, constant straight supervision, so.
I understand.
I really don't have any objection to option 2. On option 1, that diagonal kind of bothers me. You don't technically see those diagonals, you know what I'm saying?
The diagonal off the side of the
diagonal
porch?
off the side porch to get to the offset. If it was like a right angle kind of thing or something, what do y'all think?
The reason for the angle there was the way that the side walkway comes off the side porch there. You can see that originally somebody had planned to have a gate there. There's a nice brick, I guess, half pathway there. I thought that it would be aesthetically pleasing. But, I guess it's just an opinion.
But to get that off the 45 on your porch, column.
If we came straight off the porch there, I think it would look a little boxy and, cut into the walkway there a little bit, but.
So you're talking about going on 45 off that
Yeah.
thing?
Maybe I'm not seeing what she's saying.
It's one of those things that probably shows up worse in a ground plane drawing than it does when you actually get it, but I don't.
The little gate there would be,
I mean, I used to live on Agnew. It's a pretty prominent location. And just angles in general, you don't see, it looks sort of haphazard. I kind of liked it more. Just even if it comes off like a foot and then kind of rounds the corner or whatever. That's me.
The drawing is still confusing to me as to exactly what you're going to do.
is there a specific area that's?
Well, you've got a 45-degree angle line, and then you've got a right angle like this. Which is the fence? I can't point to it.
Well, I'm sorry, which
right.
portion?
Oh.
By the driveway?
No, I think that is my bleeding Sharpie marker that's supposed to indicate a gate. Is that what you're looking at?
Oh, I see.
The gate's at the walkway, essentially?
Yes.
Yeah.
A straight line, and it's got a little arc under it.
You just gotta,
My pen.
yeah.
went crazy.
She's trying to do
That's
her
me.
gate thing.
That is a Christie problem. That is not a
Yeah.
fence problem.
What it is that the fence is at the angle, and the gate, and then that's the suite. She's drawn the suite, but it.
Yeah.
Oh, so even with the side gate there, you're thinking that those funky angles there,
No,
is that?
Yeah.
I wasn't worried about it. I knew what that was. I just didn't recognize Christie's.
Her sweeping gate.
Yes.
And one line that's a little too long.
Yeah, that's fine.
But, you know, you get what you pay for.
We understand.
So,
You should really
Hey.
always draw those at 90-degree angles.
It's
Chrissy.
free, so you can't complain, right?
I'll get you a circle template, so this will be easier next time.
I'm not really a fan of the fence in the right of way, but that's not our argument. That's city council.
Ain't our
Right, so,
problem.
yeah, I give it up.
They'll let him do it.
We have plenty of things that are our problem.
Yeah, yeah. Just
Now,
go on
the
record
only-
saying I'm not a fan, but that's city council.
and I don't know how this factors, I don't know how city council looks at it. You know, if this was purely a Board of Adjustment issue with the fence in that location, they would want him to angle that fence in at the driveway more than likely, so they don't back, they want you to be able to pull in off the street completely before you get to your barrier. And they want you to be able to see so you don't back over anybody who might be walking down the street. So I don't know how that may factor into
From what I've
it.
been able to uncover so far, they would ask that it's be able to pull in at least diagonally. So, you know, if we were 7 feet back from the curb, and then it's an 18-foot gate, that we'd be able to at least pull in off the street while the gates are opening, which, you know, we made sure that we could do with our
Okay.
vehicle. And then with some mirrors for just in case backing out, to have a mirror installed, so where you can
Okay.
see the left or right.
I only make the statement that if y'all decide you want to make a motion to approve it, I would ask that you consider with any adjustments that may be required for those, to address those line of sight issues again. So you're not modifying the plan to the point that you've got to come back.
Right.
That's all.
Oh, okay.
Well, we're in another situation where motions need to be crafted.
Okay.
Is this an architectural crafting or a legal crafting?
Legal.
Okay. Well, I'll give it a swag. I move that we approve the plan as submitted with the understanding that any adjustments that might be required by any other city board or agency will be incorporated into your plan.
Absolutely.
Does that get us?
Second.
Wow, that was-
Any further discussion? Katie doesn't like the angle, but she has not gone to war over it, and Cedric doesn't like the
Fence in the right of way.
fence in the right of way, but he hasn't gone to war either, so all in favor?
Yeah.
Opposed? All right. The motion
always has to be
carries.
one.
It carries. That's right.
All right.
Katie, I promise we'll make it look as good as possible. Okay?
Of course, if he doesn't do it and he's got to come back in 10 years,
There we
we can have
go.
this discussion again.
I think you have what, you have a year from the time you get the letter? Well, we'll be here in 10, I hope.
Only David Payne will be, we haven't approved the minutes from the last meeting yet. I keep forgetting.
He's already put his shoes back on, too late.
All right.
Not unless they're
The
saying
minutes
outside
to
the
the
door.
last
Secrets
meeting
are being
were-
revealed.
The minutes to the last meeting were mailed out to you. I have reviewed them. I'm sure you have too. Yes. Does anyone have any additions or corrections? And they stand approved as mailed. Thank you.
Did you
So
get,
option one requires a license agreement. If y'all have never done a license agreement, it will
It'll take
never happen.
forever.
Yeah.
It will never happen. So
It'll-
don't worry
it'll-
about
well,
option
my
one.
thinking is, okay, if you can get something from the city, knock yourself out.
He's not gonna get that.
I was gonna say, you're probably
This
not.
is the people across the street just built their fence.
I don't know, we haven't
Well, you have seen the one across the street. It's there. And it's right up on the street.